if you see, it's quite similar to your maxillary central incisor. So maxillary central incisor is known like this trapezoidal. Okay? You can see now? Okay? See, you can see that this is also trapezoidal in shape, like a maxillary central incisor. But the only thing is, this is not very broad. Okay? Unlike your maxillary central incisor, which was approximately around 8.5 millimeters or something like that on an average. This is only 6.5. Okay? This length is 9 millimeters here. How much was it in case of maxillary central incisor? Around 10.5 to 11 millimeters. Okay? But root appears to be lengthy because this is shorter and this is narrower. The root appears lengthy. Anyway, so what you have to remember is that this incisal edge is not exactly straight, slightly convex. Okay? Mesio-incisal line angle. This is your mesio-incisal line angle. This was quite sharp in case of maxillary central incisor. Not so sharp. Okay, here, but it is more rounded on the distal side. Your distal incisal line angle, this one, is more rounded. Okay, than the mesio-incisor. But mesio-incisor was quite sharp in case of maxillary central incisor, which is not so. Okay. In fact, I asked somebody to remind me. I'm supposed to give you an assignment. In the weekend, all of you are supposed to write differences between maxillary central incisor and lateral incisor. Okay? Differences, how you should write is labial aspect, if there are any differences. Lingual aspect, if there are any differences. Okay? In a tabular form. Understood? Tabular form. That means 2 columns. Maxillary central incisor. In fact, 3 columns I would say. Maxillary central incisor, maxillary lateral incisor, and here is a side. Labial view. What is there in maxillary central incisor? What is the difference from your maxillary lateral incisor? Then lingual view, difference in the columns. Then mesial view, distal view, incisor view. Like the differences in the morphology of maxillary central and lateral incisor. Okay? What I'll do is probably make one sample and show it to you in the class today or tomorrow. Okay? Accordingly, you have to make it in the weekend. Got it? Fine. Now, this is trapezoidal in shape. Okay? The cervical line is convex. Okay? Same thing as in case of maxillary central incisor. See, this mesio-incisor line angle was very sharp with your maxillary central incisor, but it's not so sharp, but still this is straight, this is slightly convex like this. Okay? Of course, this is the root. Now this length is approximately 9 millimeters. As I told you, the most important thing is not these dimensions. Okay? Of course, you should have some kind of knowledge about these dimensions, but more important is the proportion. Okay? Proportion in the sense, see, if you see, this is 5 millimeters. This is 6.5, just sort of only 1.5 millimeters difference. Okay, it is not very broad like this in case of maxillary central incisor like this. Okay, more broad here than here. Okay, but that is not the case of maxillary lateral incisor. See, it's like this. Understood? If you see the difference, this difference between the mesio-distal dimensions at the incisal edge in comparison to the mesio-distal dimensions at the cervical third. Okay, that difference is slightly less with maxillary lateral incisor when compared to maxillary central incisor. Got it? So that so that's why some of you, when you have made it narrow, I told you keep this tooth or carving aside for maxillary lateral incisor. Okay, so don't make it too narrow for maxillary central incisor. Now for lateral incisor, what you have to be very careful is that this mesio-distal dimensions here should be slightly more than the mesio-distal dimensions at the cervical portion. Mesio-distal dimensions at the incisal edge should be slightly more than your mesio-distal dimensions at the cervical third. Okay, but very much more in case of maxillary central incisor. That you need to remember. Okay, so with these in mind, we have to start carving. Okay, of course you can measure 1 millimeter. You can 1 centimeter, yes. Okay. Great people make small mistakes. Slightly more than 1 centimeter. No? So this is slightly more than 1 centimeter. It's okay. If it is more, you can always reduce it. Okay? If it's more, it's okay. But if it's less, it's a problem. No? Right. Draw a line in the midline. Okay? On all the four sides. The first thing which you need to do is mark the sides. Okay? This is your labial side. Okay? Palatal side. We are carving the maxillary. Lateral incisor on right side means mesial side on the right side. You're supposed to say something now. Mesial side on the right side. I know distal side on the left. What I say mesial side on the right side means right sided too. Okay? Mesial side on the left side means left sided too. Okay? So mesial side on the right side is the right sided too. Okay? So opposite to that is the distal side. Okay? Now, initially itself probably you can cut it so that you get appropriate dimensions in the sense, trying to reduce it later on would be a problem. Okay? If you see, it is quite narrow, only around 6.5 to 7 millimeters. This is if you measure it, it is nearly some 9 millimeters width. Okay? You have to check with your 8 millimeters. Okay? Sorry, 13 millimeters. Right? What we need is 7 millimeters. If you look at the diagram, the width here, the width is 6.5. What do we need? 6.5, keep it as 7. Okay? What we need is 7 millimeters. But what we are having is 13 millimeters, right? What you are having is nearly 13 millimeters. Understood?
Yeah.
So I need only 7 millimeters. That means there are 6 millimeters extra. So what I do is super brilliant, yes. Okay? 3 millimeters here, 3 millimeters here. Okay? Understood? Okay? So this I do it on, sorry, I made a mistake here. This is on mesial side I've done it. Do it on the labial side. And palatal side. 3 millimeters from the edge. Okay? And if you are quite good enough, you can cut it like this straight. Make it straight like this. Okay? Similarly, on the distal side. Yeah, on the distal side. Mesially and distally. See, if you want to reduce mesio-distal dimensions, okay, this is the labial side. You can see that, right? L. Okay. If you want to reduce the mesio-distal dimensions, reduce mesially and distally. If you want to reduce the labiolingual dimensions, reduce labially and lingually. Remember that. Understood? If you want to reduce mesio-distal dimensions, I have to reduce mesially and distally. If you want to reduce labiolingual dimensions, I have to reduce labially and lingually. Now I have reduced mesio-distal dimensions. Mesio-distally it was nearly 7 millimeters, right? Nearly 7 millimeters here. Okay? So I have reduced it to, on either side 366. So it's around 7 or 8 millimeters. Okay? If it's slightly more, don't worry, it's better. Don't reduce too much. Okay? If it's more, we can always reduce it. Okay? Because it's quite excessive, that's why I reduced it like this. Okay? Now, we have to draw a midline here from mesial to distal side. Okay? From mesial to distal side. Okay? And then, on either side, I told you 1 millimeter each. The same thing which we did for maxillary central incisor. Okay? On either side. Right? Now, labially, we will start reducing, the same thing which we did for maxillary central incisor. I make a cut like this, so that I make a cut like this. Similarly on the palatal side. Got it? So I made a cut here. So I made a cut here, I made a cut here. Okay? So this is the shape. You see on the proximal side, okay, this is triangular in shape. Okay, This is triangular in shape. Okay. Approximately, of course, this is also, this will be around 6 millimeters. Okay. But this is a shape. But what is the shape which I got now? It's like this. Got it?
Yeah.
This is the shape which I have got. But I need to get a shape like this. That means I have to reduce this excess amount of wax like this. Okay? Of course, later on I can give you this shape later on. Okay? But anyway, first let us finish the labial side. Now, on the palate, make it rounded. This cut is there, sharply it is turning. Make it rounded like this.
Which side? Above the palate? The bottom.
Lateral,
Yeah.
side.
One minute, sir. I'll switch off my mobile. Okay.
And which side?
This is labial. I don't know palatal side. This is palatal side. Okay.
Okay.
So just what I did is I made it round like this. Which was the sharp edge was there. No, this is no labial side, for example. Okay. You can see the sharp edge. So just make it rounded like this. Okay. I made it round. It should not be sharp edges. No, I made it round. Can you see that?
Yes.
And here. Okay. Now this is your labialingual thickness. Got it? But this is more than what we require. Very much more than what we require. Okay.
Yeah.
So that will reduce it. But before that, what we need to see is that mesodistal dimensions here on the labial side. AF is out of focus. Let's zoom in, zoom out. This also is used for focus. Okay. Now, I was telling you, mesodistal dimensions on the labial side should be more than the mesodistal dimensions on the palatal side. Okay. So first we can reduce that. Make a cut here like this. Make an angular cut here like this. Don't go too deep. Okay.
Which side?
Labial side. Okay, labial side. Can you see that? Labial side. Okay. Small cut. Extend this cut on the proximal sides. That is mesially and distally like this. See? Got it?
Yes.
Similarly on this side.
Just one corner.
Just, yeah. A small angular cut and make it rounded like this. Okay? For this is the labial side. Okay? And this is the palatal side. Now both are similar. So far, you see, labial side, palatal side is like this, labial side is like this. Quite similar. Okay? Both are similar. So by mistake, let us say you have reduced too much on the palatal side. Reduced by mistake, let us say you reduced mesially and distally on the palatal side more. Labial side more. Mesodistal dimensions by mistake you have reduced more on the labial side. It is more on the palatal side, the distance, the dimensions between mesial and distal side. By mistake you reduce more on the labial side. No, nothing to be worried because both are quite similar, no? Just have to change the labeling. Just have to change the sides. Make palatal as labial, labial as palatal. Mesial as distal, distal as mesial. Because so far we have not carved the lingual aspect yet. Okay, you can always change size. Got it?
Yes.
Understood? Let us say, no, here this is more than this, but this is palatal side. You can always change the side. It's not a big issue at all. Okay, but now we have no problem because so far we are going quite good. Okay, now I have to reduce mesiodistal dimension on the palatal side. What do I do is first here, see, without reducing too much here, I make a small angular cut here. Okay, on the palatal side, and again like this. Got it? Can you see now it is narrow?
Yeah.
Yes, no. Sorry. Zoom చేస్తున్నారా? Good. Zoom or zoom very well. Focus on. Yeah. Yeah. You can see that?
Yeah.
See. It's too bright, no? Okay. What you can, I don't know, see whether without light is better. But you can see that, can you see this?
Yeah.
What I'm shining?
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
See, that is your palatal side. Compare with the labial side, see? This mesiodistal dimensions are broad here, okay? And compared to this, okay? This facet is like this here. Now, make it smooth. Can you see this? This is the facet, so make it smooth like this. Without reducing mesiodistal dimensions on the labial side. Okay? And similarly reduce like this on the mesial side. Okay?
Okay.
Round of the edges. Still the labial angle thickness is more. Round of the edges like this. Okay? So this is the labial side. Palatal side. You can appreciate the fact that mesiodistal dimensions are less on the palatal side. This is your incisal edge, which is broad. Okay? So I'm going to pass the carving around. Have a look at it. Pass it to your students. Because no, whatever seeing on video demonstration is different. Having a look at it. No? Have a look at it.